Hello guests and subscribers! Today I will tell you about a wonderful walk in one of the most beautiful corners of Midlothian, Pentland Hills, or rather West Keep and East Keep. When I reached a place called Silverburn, I saw a path called Hoplands Road, so I decided to follow it. Silverburn is a small village near Penicuik in Midlothian in the southeast of Scotland. It has a small community centre with a garden, which was featured on the BBC television programme The Beech Grove Garden in June 2008. It has a population of just over 60 and is located about 8 miles south of Edinburgh. Look, what an interesting rustic flavor is around. An archaic settlement, the air of which is saturated with medieval antiquity, evokes associations with Crusader knights and ancient kings. It would seem that here is a beautiful asphalt road, a symbol of modernity and urbanization. But low-rise buildings standing on the side of the road eloquently hint at such antiquity and originality that they become the main emotional background of Silverburn. When you change the civilian asphalt on the dirt path, the feeling of the resurrected past intensifies. I wonder if all the buildings here are so… vintage. How carefully you need to treat your architectural heritage so that it continues to please the eye even 100, 200 and 500 years later. However, the squat hedges on the right and left are also hello from the time of King Arthur. I catch myself thinking that the sleepy area is greatly enlivened by the sheep grazing on the low hills. They are as unhurried as rare passers-by. After admiring the landscape, which is rather stingy with vegetation, I move on. The path became a little more stony, and the white sheep were replaced by many flowering bushes, as round as the lamps. By the way, does anyone know why the sticks are stuck in the fence on the left and right? Some strange fence. Share your guesses. So, here's the unexpected end of my little journey. A lawfully insurmountable obstacle in the form of a gate suddenly arose. I did not know that this path would lead me to a dead end. When I approached the gate, I saw a padlock hanging on the gate. Well, with a great disappointment, I naturally went back to the main road, which is about 300 meters from Silverburn in a settlement called 8 Mile Burn. And along this ladder, I will go to the long-awaited West Keep and East Keep. I turn and immediately, instead of fences, I see columns that are incomprehensible to me. Probably it is so customary here to set up a palisade around a paved path. Wow, I'm fascinated by these Gothic signs. There are a lot of them, but the style is equally old-fashioned. For some reason, they remind me of the Bremen Town Musician's cartoon. Do you think road signs were also installed hundreds of years ago and have been kept in good conditions all this time? Personally, I'm inclined to the version that they are not deliberately aged props, but real relics of bygone eras. The march along the dusty road in dry weather did not bring any new impressions. There were no sheep, but desert. The vegetation was dull and the hills were lifeless. Don't you think that this surreal landscape looks a lot like a deserted estate from Conan Doyle's The Hound of the Baskervilles? For me personally, yes. Phew, the picture has changed. I've been warned that I'm invading the crazy sheep zone. Of course, there are not so many of them here, but there are no signs of insanity. Although they are more focused or something, maybe just not in the mood today. To the strange white lamps were added horses as well, very outdated as if from nightly tournaments with blankets. and close by the silhouettes of residential buildings loomed. And so I'm getting closer and closer to a place called East Side Cottages. These are unique holiday cottages. Initially, as I know from the description on the internet, these were hay barns, and now they have been turned into a unique place for tourists. The cottages are located in the Pentland Hills, Scotland, in the heart of East Side Farm, a working sheep farm. They have been lovingly converted from an original 18th century manor house surrounded by hills. Here you will find some of the best places to walk. These cottages can accommodate from 2 to 4 people. So friends, I immediately have a terrible curiosity. What is there behind the latticed window and thick walls of wild stone? The same authentic interior of the spirit of medieval Scotland? Or a modern setting with the amenities of civilization like widescreen TV, laminate flooring and a jacuzzi? I tend to the first option. This tiled roof with islands of moss and windows typical of 18th century buildings, and the whole courtyard as a whole look very convincing. The well-preserved manor has not lost the charm of bygone times and really breathes sweet, kind old Scotland. Well, having enjoyed the views of the cottages, you can climb the mountain. Oh, it won't be easy. Having passed half of the route, you can relax a bit and enjoy the magnificent Scottish landscapes. I will share my feelings. They cannot be obtained in absentia, considering a beautiful picture. This really needs to be seen with your own eyes, inhaling the spicy air and listening to the noise of either subsiding or increasing wind. At first, it literally took my breath away. Well, this is when you suddenly take your breath away from a sudden surge of emotions. I'm sure you would experience the same excitement with the beauty, wildness, and incredible scale of the spectacle that opens up here. If you are even a little romantic and have not forgotten how to dream, come here and let your imagination run wild. It will receive such abundant food that you will dream about this piece of Scotland for more than one night. I confess that in this almost completely non-human nature, there is a stunning grandeur, even some kind of primal awe before the obviously miraculous power of the earth, hills, rough terrain. What good fellows are those who are responsible for the preservation of this primitiveness and do not allow urbanization to take over and depersonalize such an aesthetic piece of the country. It even seemed to me that I was in a place of real shamanic power. Well, it's true. The biocurrents of the hilly expanse that cause goosebumps on the skin are very clear. They electrify the air and make you breathe deeply. In general, a little rebirth and a big reboot took place. And now you can prepare for the descent down. Yes, I don't think it will be easy. But I'm already physically and mentally ready. So, a breeze in my hair and more confident step and wide open eyes, this is my state. And a slight sadness in my heart from the fact that I have to leave this place. How happy are those who can afford to admire such fantastic lands every day. And life here must be like an ongoing fairy tale. Please don't accuse me of being too sentimental. The atmosphere of the area, its energy simply takes over and transfers consciousness to the perception of the heart and not the mind. With great regret, but eagerly, I look at everything that comes my way. I hope that visual memory will retain at least something better than a video camera. I want the pictures from my little trip to remain in my head for as long as possible. Well, I'm already downstairs. Now back towards the cottages. As I look at this mountain from below, it takes my breath away. But I did it, and I'm very proud of myself. As the hero said, I don't remember which movie it was, we're in awe. Yes, there is nothing to add. And So my adventures come to an end. I'm sure that I managed to convey at least 10% of that indescribable range of pleasure that rolls here like a 10-point storm on a dilapidated boat.